Co-Card Collection.
What's up, gang? Today is September 18th, the year of our Lord, 2020, and I'm having fun. That's right, I'm having. Y'all ain't hear that intro? You can't play that and say you're not having fun. Come on, man. Y'all seen how Lee Harvey Oswald was jigging to this song? Lee Harvey Oswald loved Sada Baby. I think it's my favorite historical fact. Um, but no, I'm having fun. I've got to tell you, I'm really enjoying this Clippers pack, man. I've had it burning around the house like sage, man, like incense. And it's really just had me chuckling. Like, that's just how quick all this happens. By the time you hear this, somebody else might be in the crosshairs. Because, again, we was having our fun at the Rockets' expense for a minute. We laughed at the Bucks. Good bit. We put Giannis on every team in the league. Y'all remember that 4 weeks ago? And now we're laughing at the Clippers. Now we are laughing at the Clippers. So we got a lot of questions today. I got to stop opening those up in the Discord. I got to think of a different way to do that. First, I would do it and get a couple questions. I was like, okay, I can work around this. Now it'd be like Withers, tell me about every single meal you ever had, and I'd be like, okay. And I'd be sitting there and I think about every meal I ever had. So I'm gonna try to mix in some of the questions with some of the things I was already gonna talk about. Like, we was already gonna talk about the Clippers. So, excuse me. Question was some Kawhi slander here. Did we heavily underrate how strong Toronto's supporting cast and Nick Nurse were after seeing Kawhi's performance, Game 7? I would say absolutely. I would say absolutely. Like, everything on Toronto makes so much more sense when you just slide everybody down a notch. Right? Like, everybody right now was probably overtaxed in their current role. And thus, they like almost made it to the conference finals. But it shouldn't even been that close, right? Like, the Celtics was whooping them up and down the court for 7 games. So everybody makes sense one notch down. Like, Siakam, he caught a lot of jokes this offseason, right? I made some of those jokes. Like, we had our fun. But then it came to, it's like the thing, it's like I say a joke, ah, ha, ha. We all say a joke. But then it's never funny because people actually believe that. And now people like Pascal Siakam, they legitimately think he's mid. There's people that legit don't think he's an all NBA player. Which, I mean, that's fine. But some of the people, we'll get to that later, but some of the people they suggested in his place, that's what I disagree with. But he's not a championship number one. That don't make him mid. He's a championship number 2, right? Like, we've seen it. We've seen it. And for guys, we just seen Paul George. We just saw Russell Westbrook, Chris Middleton. All of those guys showed that they're not at that stage, or not yet at least. Not yet at least. As far as the coaching, good coaching always shows itself in the playoffs, man. Always. Like, I feel like we think of the adjustments have to come from players, and it's like, well, who's making the adjustments? Like, why wouldn't you think coaches don't have to adjust too? And you see it. Bud versus Eric Spoelstra. Bud versus like Spoelstra. Not even saying that he was like, oh my god, just master class, because Bud did a lot of it to himself. But boy, oh boy, I feel like we've seen coaches coach down to a level. It's like, what? Why isn't somebody pulling the obvious move? So Nurse is good. Again, one day maybe I'll make the list. I firmly believe that there are like 5 good coaches in the NBA, 5 bad coaches, and 20 fine ones, 20 mid ones. And Nick Nurse is good. Nick Nurse is good, and cause, like in concern to the Clippers collapse, Doc he's fine at best. He's fine at best. He just does not adjust. He's Budenholzer, man. He's playoff. He's a good regular season coach. Playoff, he just does not adjust. But we'll get to Doc too. Don't fret. So yeah, we just saw Paul George underwhelm of the number 2s, and look, of the number 2s right now, somebody between Anthony Davis, Bam, Kemba Walker, Jamal Murray, somebody of those number 2s, somebody about to come up short, right? And it don't even mean that whoever loses this can't. It means you can't this year, but like I thought Paul George was that guy. But boy, it's trending down. Like again, it was around the time like Kawhi, Paul George, Butler was something that I used to talk about with people, and I was like I concede that Kawhi is the best, right? I also think he's in the best situation. This was before Toronto, before LA Kawhi. It was like he's good, but the Clippers or the Spurs definitely helped for that. Now I think Kawhi's at a level where he would have gotten that good anywhere. The Spurs helped for sure, but he would have gotten that anywhere. And I was like, I think Paul George is naturally the most talented of the 3. Like just I feel like he's the tallest, has the longest arms. I think he's I don't know about best shoot. Like Kawhi's probably a better shooter, but Paul George is like high. I feel like he'd be taking 8, 9, 10 threes a game, like high volume, great off the ball. I thought he was like Pippen. I was like, wow, he like Kawhi. His Jordan picked him, right? And he hasn't shown that yet. So it's somewhat underrating him, but like we look at what Toronto just did. Of course, it's all recency bias, so it's like, oh yeah, they're mid. Lowry's old, good, like all those guys are washed. But last year, again, you slot Kawhi at number 1 and everybody else down 1. Siakam to 2, Lowry to 3. Like that's where it's like, oh boy, everything fits here, and the Clippers have to find that, or not. You know what I mean? They don't have to find it. So I'll say this: Kawhi was the mastermind last year. Like last free agency, he was the pulling all the strings. Like he went to the Clippers. He got Uncle Dennis on the board at Microsoft. Finesse Paul George. He got Oklahoma City involved somehow. They were the toast of the town. And I know because I myself was in LA asking everyone if it was a Clippers town. Because I legitimately heard more Clippers talk, like just unprovoked, heard more Clippers talk. And it was right after, like the posters and billboards up were Kawhi and PG and LeBron and AD's face. And I was like, wow. Like 1, this is sick. 2, I can't believe more people aren't talking about how Anthony Davis plays with LeBron James now. But yeah, it was a Clippers town. Everyone was saying it. So yeah, Kawhi got to take some of the brunt of that too. I do think it's interesting that like Giannis don't have friends. He don't do that friendship, but neither did Kawhi, right? I remember reading Kawhi. I think his first call was Durant, and Durant was like surprised. He was like, "I'd never really talked to the guy." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Kawhi don't do that friendship. He tried Butler. That didn't work out. He got Paul George. Oh boy. I won't say he a better player. You know what I'm saying? But boy, oh boy. If my number 2 and it's game 7, I'd trust somebody to go down firing. I think you would have to go Pascal Siakam over Paul George at this point. Right? Like as a number 2, comfortable number 2. How could you not? But yeah, so we'll see. Giannis don't have no friends till he does. Till he does. Next question is from Kenny G. Who is to blame for the Clippers giving up this 3-1 series lead? The players or Doc? And why? As well as your finals and champion prediction now that there are 4 left. Take a sip of my beverage here. Whew, it's that raw. Doc Rivers been trick y'all, man. Doc trick y'all. I've been out on Doc Rivers as a coach since 3-1 in Orlando. And again, not to hipster, you guys. I've been out on this shit since before 3-1 was fashionable. Right? Like 3-1 used to be like, oh my God, how are the Warriors? How's anybody ever going to come back from 3-1? The Nuggets did that twice this month. So, and I firmly believe, like, 20 points, no lead is safe. I think we're going to see within the next 4 or 5 years, if there are no, like, radical changes, I think we're going to see a 3-0 comeback. I just think it's just too easy to, like, the three-pointer is just the great equalizer for the most part. But Doc trick y'all, man. 3-1 in Orlando to the Pistons. And again, it was always, well, look at the talent he had. Bro, he had enough talent to get up 3-1 on the Pistons. He had Tracy McGrady. Everybody look back and think Tracy McGrady was just Michael Jordan in like 03. He was cool. You know what I'm saying? He blew a 3-1 lead. Then Doc did it again in L.A. versus Houston. Then he did it again versus Denver. And he's blown 3 different 3-2 leads. Like, again, the playoffs are all adjustments. I think he's consistently shown he doesn't adjust. Like, that's just not something he does. Like, he's loyal, like, to a fault. And he is a bum knee from Andrew Bynum. As somebody said, as many people have said, Andrew Bynum don't get hurt. Man, Doc Rivers still on TV, right? It's him sitting there next to he and Kenny Smith shoes right now inside the NBA. So, he trick y'all. But some of it's on the players. I can't put it all on Doc as much as I love to. Like, again, Pat Bev trick y'all. Pat Bev is literally all defense. And he had nothing for Murray when they needed him to. Nothing. Right? Like, the Nuggets don't really have like a wing-sized guy to shut down. Like, Paul George and Kawhi they're built to defend like the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? But not a team built around a 7'5" guy and a 6'3" guy. So, I can't believe Doc tricked y'all. I can't believe it. But yeah, some of it's on the players, for sure. Some of it's on the players. I kind of want to talk about Jamal for a second. I'll get back to the players. Let me just say this, because part of the question was, who do I have in the next round? I've got Lakers, and I had Celtics in 6 before this, but as I record this, the Heat just went up 2-0. Again, as I just said, we're going to see a 3-0 lead blown. I don't think it's coming from this Heat team. These might be famous last words, but it's looking like the Heat are, boy, oh boy. They got to blow 4 of the next 5. They're clicking, feels like on almost all cylinders. Like, Jimmy didn't even particularly have a good game, and they did to the end. He made some clutch plays down the end, especially defensively. But they're clicking. So Celtics looking like I'm wrong there. I'm sticking Lakers, man. I'm sticking Lakers. I'm still going Lakers. But admittedly, and this is what made me think of Jamal, who on the Lakers is guarding Jamal, man? Right? Like, it's one of those, in theory, I think they've got some really good options. Like, Caruso's played really well. Playoff Rondo's played really well. Like, Danny Green, KCP, Bron probably switching on to him in, like, late game scenarios. But it's also like, man, oh, man, I thought the Clippers had the, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who would you want to put against Jamal? Like, length, Paul George. Strength, Kawhi Leonard. Like, just a pest, Patrick Beverly. And He gave those guys 40 points in Game 7. I seen it. And so I don't know. I'm still going Lakers there. But another thing on Jamal, just because I'm just so proud. That's probably the reason. I'm happy too, man. 2-3-1 leads. Come back. The first one over Donovan Mitchell. The second over Montreal Harrell. Oh, I'm over the moon. Y'all know Terry Rozier, close personal friend. Would love for him to make it into the finals. To go up 3-1. Just have Jamal put it on him too. Just rounding up the Cardinals and bopping them on the head. I'm loving that. But for Jamal, this is a reason I'm really not worried about young guards' defense for the most part. Like, I'm just really not worried about it. Because when it counts, they all try. And you just have to show you can be part of a functional lineup, like a functional defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of talk about the Mavericks offense. This Mavericks offense this year was the number 1 offensive rating of all time. The Clippers were second, right? So if any other year, the Clippers are probably just the best offense, one of the best of all time. Clippers were second. And this was a team with Jokic and Jamal Murray, a team that was 16th in defense during the year, as average as you can be. And the Clippers could not exploit them. Not to the point to win 4 games out of 7. So I'm really, I say that for Jamal. I say that for Trae Young. I say that for Zach LaVine. I say that for Devin Booker. I think Booker showed that in the bubble, right? Like, when it counts, all these guys, they're going to try. And when they try, they're fine. And fine is all. When you're scoring 30 on the other end, fine is all you need, right? Steph figured it out. Kyrie figured it out. Dame and CJ made a conference finals last year. Jamal this year. Kemba, like, part of a great unit. And again, that all you have to do is show you can be a part of a great unit. That's it. So for Trae, I get he's awful. They were all awful at some point. When the games matter, I think he'll be fine. I really do think he'll be fine. But back to Doc Trick, y'all. Some of those were adjustments that he needed to make, and he didn't. And some of those there was just no adjusting to make. Right? Like, I read that Clippers had a net rating of minus 11.7 with Montreal Harrell on the floor. Montrezl Harrell. I always forget which letter not to say. It don't matter. I say it not to disrespect his name, but he went to Louisville, man. You know what I mean? Minus 11.7 with Harrell on the floor. Plus 8.8 with him off it. Minus 12, basically. Minus 12 with him on the floor. Plus 8 with him off it. In a game that went to 7. Or a series that went to 7 games. That's enormous. Right? And the number, it plummeted to minus 27 in 72 minutes when Harrell and Jokic were both in the game. For the series, I don't know I think this was going into Game 7. I can't imagine it changed. Jokic shot 64% against Harrell. 49% against Zubac. 15% difference right there. So, one, Jokic was the best player in that series. Right? It should have been Kawhi. I thought it was Kawhi. If you ask me right now, I'd still be like, yeah, next year I'd have probably Kawhi. But Jokic, his play over those 7 games, he was the best player in that series. That's not on Doc. I don't think that's on Doc. I do think that sending double teams at the best passing big man probably ever, I think that's on Doc. That was a bad idea. And Jokic picked him apart at Game 7. It was blitzing Tom Brady, man. It's one of those, like, we don't know what else to do. We're going to blitz Tom Brady. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you what ain't going to work. Or any of those, quarterbacks that just get the ball out of their hands quick. So I saw the Nuggets outscored the Clippers 181 to 117 in the second half of games 5, 6, and 7. That's 60 to 39 on average. Right? Game 7, Kawhi didn't shoot a single free throw. Or in the fourth quarter, score any points at all. I can't put that on Doc. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was something I said. I think to Stiz, I was like, the thing about Kawhi didn't have bad games. He's went like 6 for 22 twice since then. So, fuck me, right? So again, Doc he keeps overseeing these things, and I've had it in my mentions. You have it every single time. If you go case by case with these, and it's like, are we going to blame Doc for Kawhi going 6 for 22 or whatever? If you're going to do that, man, I used to do it with Marvin Lewis in Cincinnati. You go case by case, those playoff games, and it's like, oh man, you can rash. Oh well, listen, we had 4 starters out here. Well, this year we shouldn't even made it here. We were like, you know what I'm saying? If you do that year by year, everybody's safe. But in total, I just don't think it works. I don't think it works. Like, Lou Will was not having a good series on offense or defense. He left him in there, right? Like, I don't even know who it's. Like, Reggie Jackson, Shamit, some more minutes. Somebody. Rodney McGrew. Like, you know what I'm saying? Lou Will, it just wasn't working out. He was doubling Jokic. He kept playing Harrell, again, who was not having a good series. Harrell and Lou Will, a good bit of their bench scoring just fell off the cliff. I will say something that, unless he was just lying, which could be, Paul George saying he didn't think it was title or bust. Listen, he's your second best player. Y'all need to be on the same page. Right? Like, if Paul George, again, as your second best player, your big free agency coup along with Kawhi is like, yeah, no, we knew we had plenty of time, but everybody else is like, bro, like, what are you talking? There are no windows. So I don't know if that might be a coaching thing, but that might just be Paul George being full of shit. All right. Also, again, it was brought up. Y'all know about, like, the Paul George, Callie Rivers. Callie Rivers is Doc Rivers' daughter. They dated. I believe Paul George cheated on her with the woman Paul George is currently with. She ended up getting married to Seth Curry, Steph's brother. And even then, with all that, like, you know, they had to, for that trade, you know, they had to go to Doc Rivers like, hey, is this okay if we get Paul George? How you feel if your pops do that, man? You know what I'm saying? On one side, you got to, you know, business is always business, but really, Pop? Really? Like, of all the, you know what I'm saying? Of all the all-star wings, right? Paul, really? Okay. Bet. So, a thing somewhere I think they not even failed, but it was something where I had questions about it at the time. The first rounder for Marcus Morris was supposed to be like, oh yeah, like that was icing on top of the cake. And I don't hate it. I've always felt like JaMychal Green was just underutilized there. And again, not even that he's great shakes, not that he's just like, yeah, plug him in and let him work. But it's like, if I just give JaMychal Green a little bit more work and trade that first rounder for something else instead of Marcus Morris. But at that point, it's like, for what, dude? They had all-stars, all-NBA, all defense. You know what I'm saying? They had a bench. They had big men. Like, what you traded for? So, that leads into the next question. Bet you can't fix the Clippers. I'd hate to hear you try and talk about it in this economy. Well, I don't know about fixing, but I do have a couple tidbits. First things first. Doc's not going anywhere. I think they've already said as much. He's not going anywhere, but something coaching-wise needs shaking up. Right? Like, I think, like, if Tyronn Lue gets a gig, I think that'd be a good thing. Right? Maybe he takes Sam Cassell. Like, if they have to refill that coaching staff, something needs some shaking up. Like, Doc is the player's guy, which I agree. It's a 100-game season. You know, you need somewhat of a player's guy. But if this is going to work, somebody has to be able to stop the bleeding. And with like all the good coaches available, it ain't but so many jobs. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to end up an overqualified assistant. Between Darvin Ham or, again, Becky Hammond, Mike Brown. Like, for the head coaching job, Mike Brown gets laughed at. It feels like he's just one of those, like, he should just be a assistant coach. He's just Wade Phillips. North Turn, like, I'm just really good. Apparently, like, he's just a great defensive coordinator. So like, if that's what you need, somebody's got to be like, willing to make those adjustments. Like, hey man, we can't keep sending out Lou Will to shoot 35%, get killed on defense. So that's first. Like, just a new coaching staff might not be bad because they need some new blood. Two, they have to bring everybody back, and it's really they kind of can't afford not to. Like Marcus Morris, Harrell, and Jermichael Green can all walk for nothing. Right? The salary cap was supposed to be 115 before Rona. The Clippers at 114 without those guys. Again, it might go down because of the Rona. Might not, might. So they're out 4 unprotected picks. I swear to God, every time I see the Paul George trade, another pick gets added. But they're out 4 unprotected picks, 1 protected pick, and 2 pick swaps for Paul George, and another first rounder for Marcus Morris. But I'll say this: they've got Beverly, Lou Will, and Zubac as trade chips. Like they've got them all signed to very sensible contracts, and I think Lou Will's the piece you move. I think he's the piece. He makes $8 million. He's on an expiring contract, so it's his last year. You can get something for him, right? Somebody needs a creator off the bench. Bucks, Sixers, like the bottom 3 teams in the league in bench scoring were all playoff teams: Houston, Boston, Portland. You think they wouldn't take 1 year of Lou Will for $8 million? You know what I'm saying? So when I get to the Clippers write-up, I'll do a more, like I'll legit try to look through teams, try to find a trade that works. But I do think Lou Will's going to have to go. Next thing, I think they have to lean on their stars more. And it's weird, like, to say that after the Game 7 we just saw and after, like, the whole load management over the regular season. But this postseason, overall, the Clippers had 4 guys in 20% usage rate. Like, 2 of those guys, Lou Will and Harrell. Now, for varying reasons, I'm not putting the blame on them. 2 of those, they weren't good, right? You can't use the ball as much as my stars if you're not being good. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the playoffs, you have to know your role and contribute outside of it. And I think that's where it's like, if Lou Will and Trez, if they're not getting buckets like they normally do, where else are they contributing? Because Lou Will wasn't hitting threes. Harrell was getting eaten alive on defense. Right? Like, the teams that work, they have people that know exactly what to do. Right? Like, it's Braun, 80, and guys that know exactly what to do. Celtics got, Tatum, Kemba to hit the shots, but, like, if it kicks out, Marcus Smart can hit a 3. Tice can hit a 3. It's not like, well, all 4 of us are using the ball about the same. No. Kawhi Leonard is much better. He should be using it. He took 39 shots last year in that Game 7 against Toronto. He took 22 yesterday. They scored 89 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't add up. But I think they got, to some extent, too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, I think you can run this back. Like, I think you trade Lou Will for, like, a perimeter defender and give his minutes to, like, more for Shamet, to whoever you can get for Lou Will. Like, Jermichael Green's good. I'd bring him back. Morris is meh, right? Like, I know you gave up a first for him. That's a sunk cost. At this point, unless he's signing something really reasonable, like, he was getting 15 per. If he wants that, I'm sorry, dude. Right? Like, man, Harrell, he might hate Paul George. He might not, but he might hate Paul George. I think the move they're going to have to make is try to sign and trade. I think they're going to have to sign and trade. Like, ideally, you could sign and trade Morris for something, or you keep Morris, right? But if Harrell's gone, I'd try to keep Morris. But I'd give all those minutes to Morris, Jermichael Green, and probably even Zubac a little bit more work. Like, I feel like he's earned, over a regular season, he's earned 5 or 6 more minutes a game. I'd split Harrell's minutes that way. Like, no problem. So, I'd give, like, sign and trade anything for Harrell. Like, find whatever team he wants to sign with. Do it. See, so if they can give him, like, an extra year or more money per, see if you can get, like, for Brogdon, Bucks got a first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. So do whatever you can do to get that. Only thing is you're going to have to flip those immediately. Right? Like, the Bucks got those, and they were like, yeah, no, these will help us in the future. Now, you got to flip those. Like, whatever you get for them, you have to immediately flip. You got to immediately flip. Like, I think like they've got a decent core right now. Like, it sounds crazy to say because they were just overwhelming favorite. But Zubac, Kawhi, PG, Shamit, Pat Bev, those are locked in. I know Doc doesn't trust rookie or young guys, but again, as a coach, they've got Terrence Mann and Cabin Gailey as, I think they were both rookies this year. It's your job to make them find out how they fit around your star. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have to spot up or just only play defense or whatever, those are just young depth minutes. It's a long season. You have to get young, cheap production. Like Rodney McGruder's under contract. He didn't have a good year, but he is signed like salary, so you can add him up to, get a higher salary player. Or just keep, like, Bet last year was the anomaly. He'd be cheap production. They got Reggie Jackson out of nowhere. Like, for his expectations and salary, Reggie Jackson was good. Now, I wouldn't bring him back. I would just bet on finding another Reggie Jackson. But I'd try to trade Lou Will for a piece. I would try to sign and trade Harrell for a piece. And then use those pieces I got to immediately flip and try to get players. Like they did with Marcus Morris. Like, flip the first to get Marcus Morris. So, like, it's one of those, they have depth, and it's a good thing, but it's like the Bucks depth. You have too much depth. You got 19 players, you don't have 5, is what I've always said. But it doesn't matter. You have to have your set role. You have to have your set role. Like Danny Green, Caruso, playoff Rondo, those guys know what they're supposed to be doing. Gary Harris, Millsap, Tice, you know what I'm saying? They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And again, it hurts because of load management. I get it. So you do need some legit depth, but you do have to have the ability to rein it in the postseason. So, yeah, trade those pieces. They have a $3.5 million trade exception from the Jerome Robinson trade. It was set to expire in February. Now, who knows? They'll bump that back. That doesn't sound like a lot. They cannot let that go. They can't let that go because what that means, they can just trade for and absorb a guy that makes $3.5 million or less. So if somebody wanted to get off or away from the luxury tax, they might just trade him to you, just here. But more likely, you throw them a second round pick or something. And like, I looked at some guys that make $3.5 million or less for next year. Josh Hart for the Pelicans. That's just a thing. Like, maybe the Pelicans don't have him in their long-term plans. Right? Like, if they've just like, no, we just want to get more minutes for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's the last year of his Josh Hart's rookie deal. You might be able to get him. They just take him for anything. Kim Birch in Orlando, if they've got a healthy Vooch, healthy Bamba, like, if their team's healthy, they've got plenty of bigs. Kim Birch is a rotation player. Like, he can play 15 minutes a game. He's one of those bigs you find anywhere. Find him. Boban, not saying they can get him, but that level of, it's like, oh, okay, Boban for $3.5 million? Yeah, you need all the pieces over a long season. Like, Luwawu Cabarrot and Campaign, both those guys look great in the bubble. TLC, to his credit, before that, but those guys made under that. Wesley Matthews, Austin Rivers, this past year, both made under $3.5 million. So, like, that caliber player, you cannot let that trade exception expire. So, those are my fixes. Those are my quick fixes. And it's basically, you have to get one, stronger supporting coaching staff around Doc. 2, you have to bring back everybody, but mostly because you can't lose the assets. But, again, I think you can go into next season with Zubac, Kawhi, Paul George, Shamit, Pat Bev. Like, it's 5 right there. Not even necessarily your starting 5, but that's 5. You got Terrence Mann, Kabengele, and Magruder. That's some bench depth. I think you can bring Jermichael Green back. I think you can trade Lou Will for a piece. I think you can sign and trade Harrell for a piece. And then within those, your trade exception, that's another couple pieces. Like, that gives you you can put together another 10-man rotation, right? Like, I don't think you have to go too crazy to bring back this team. Like, if this team was on the brink of winning a finals, yeah, run it back exactly, right? Like that Spurs-Miami team. Spurs-Miami finals team. Run it back. And they mowed them down the next year. This team was on the brink of making it to the conference finals. So, those are the tweaks I would make. Just a couple random thought alerts. Then we'll get back into some more questions. Random thought alert. I miss when guys intercepted like 10 passes in a season. Like 10, 11 passes in a season. Like we haven't had 9 interceptions in a year since 2012. Hadn't had 10 since 2007. But everybody's throwing for 5,000 yards. So, what the hell? Random thought number 2. If the Rockets get like a normal head coach, does he just have to just run like normal pick and roll with their team now? If he's just like, I don't do that 3-ball shit. Pick and roll, PJ Tucker. Dive hard. Finish above the rim. 6'1" PJ Tucker. I don't know. Random thought number 3. You know who's not having fun? You know who's really not having fun? Kids in virtual school. Kids in virtual school. Like, I saw my nephew doing some of their schoolwork. Dude, their school day is basically they get a different Zoom link like every hour. And that's your second period, third period, whatever. Like, the connection stinks. Like, not even... And I get it, right? Like, the teacher's connected to 30 students on a server and 30 teachers, each got 30 students apiece, all that. It's cutting in and out. They got to ask the teacher to, like, repeat themselves. It knocked the kids in and out. They got to log back in. Like, imagine, just you right now, imagine sitting through 7 different Zoom meetings. Like, just back, that's just your day from 8, like, and again, maybe that's, I don't know, that hadn't been my reality during quarantine. Maybe that's what it is. But imagine doing it at like 10, dude. It's brutal now if you are doing it. It's brutal. Like, I don't miss school at all. At all. I hated every single second of school. For some 13, 17 years. Hated every single bit of it. But, next question. I guess the first official question. Top 5 guys left in the playoffs in no order. Like, we got no Kawhi, no Giannis, no Harden, no KD and Steph due to injury. So, I think 1 is LeBron. I think 1 feels like comfortably LeBron of the guys left. 2, I think it's AD. I think it's the entire reason I've had the Lakers all year. So I feel pretty good about them now. I just think they have the 2 best players left. 3, I think, is Jokic. I think Jokic has just shown he can, like, carry you. Like, if he has the mismatch for a series, he can carry you. Like, defense, for whatever, you know what I'm saying, his limitations are, they haven't been able to explore. Like, he's been to Game 7s every single playoff series of his career, right? So nobody's playing him off the court, however you feel about his defense. 4, I think it's Butler. I think it's got to be Jimmy Butler right now. 5, I've got Tatum. So it's honorable mention to Jamal, to Kemba, to Bam, to Torrey Craig. But I think those are the top 5 right now, or my top 5. I think we got a little bit more NBA coming later. Next question from Will McKay. Music talk. Who's an artist who really grew on you? And on the other side, who's an artist you loved and no longer enjoy? Excluding Kanye. I gotta say, nobody really grows on me. Right? Like, if I don't like it, it's fine, but it's not really getting much of another chance. Like, the older I get, I know what I like for the most part right away. And again, it's not to say things won't grow on me, but I even know it's like, this could grow on me. So, none of those really came to mind. Now, I will say there are tapes from people, like the Future tape after Hendrix came out made me appreciate Future more. After Evil came out, I liked Purple Rain more. So there's stuff like that, but as far as like artists altogether, no, I'm just not that guy. Like, listen, you have to listen to it 12 times. The 12th time, that's when it hits. No, I'm no, thank you. And artists whose music I no longer enjoy. Artists who I loved and no longer enjoy. If it's excluding Kanye, listen, it's R. Kelly. It's R. Kelly. I miss that guy's music. That guy is a genius musically. Now, I don't know how true it is. I have heard that the streaming money goes back to paying his child support now. So he's not getting it. His family is. So I'm not saying stream R. Kelly. But I will say this. It's quite a few people. Like once you die, I don't feel bad about streaming your music. So once he kicked the bucket, I'm playing all of Leah's old hits, man. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. What a creepy title and cover. But the hits were the hits. Will McKay. Next question. I'm living on my own for the first time. What's something you wish you knew the first time you moved out of your parents' house? I think for me, excuse me. I think the main thing is just how freeing it is to be in charge. And like the point is not to be like power hungry in charge. Like the point is that there's nobody to be power hungry over. There's nobody to be in charge of, only you. That's the freeing part. Like things are exactly where you put them. You don't have to worry about like parents, roommate, like not taking out the trash or being told to take out the trash. The things you buy will be exactly where you left them. And that's your freedom and that's your responsibility. Because it's also a thing, you reach a certain age, problems don't fix themselves anymore. Right? Like at your old house, like, we're hearing hearing a noise or a leak under the sink or something. We're hearing a little noise. It'll probably be fine. Now, on your own, if you like, it's not going away. It's not going away. So, I would just say that freedom, that responsibility. I've had roommates all through college. It was fine, but I knew it's like once I get out of this, ideally, I'm never going back. Like I live farther away or in a worse part of town to ensure that I didn't have roommates. So that's just enjoy the freedom. It can be a lot. I would just say enjoy it. You never have to be like, well, let me put on a shirt real quick and run downstairs. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do anymore. That's the freedom. That's what I would say. Next question. Who's a famous person you've met that was way cooler than you thought they would be? Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith was much cooler. And it wasn't even that I thought Emmitt Smith was uncool. But I didn't think he was cool. And that guy's cool. I met him last year. Super Bowl was here in Atlanta. He came down and did XM radio with us. And he brought us some tequila. And so it was like 9 a.m. And Emmitt Smith brought some tequila. And he was like, let's break it open, guys. So it's me, it's Big Cat, it's Willie, it's Emmitt Smith, it's PFT, maybe Ron, maybe Adam Ferron was there. We're just drinking tequila, just passing a bottle of Emmitt Smith's tequila. And I don't know, it's just anti-Jerry Rice vibes is what I got from Emmett. Just someone who is just so, he's like, yeah, no, I think and I can prove that I'm the best. But at the same time, hey, you don't have to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? I won 3 rings. I made a lot of money. I got a good life. I got tequila. So Emmitt Smith was very cool. And then the next day I ran into Emmitt Smith. I saw him again at the Fanatic Super Bowl party. And I went up to him and I told him I was really, because he left a bottle of tequila and I believe it got finished off. I told him I was enjoying it. And he's either remembered me or he shook so many hands that he's good enough to just be like, yeah, my man. You know what I'm saying? He just fake it. He's so good. So Emmitt Smith. Next question. What are your thoughts on a versus battle, but it's athletes comparing their highlights? I'll say I like it, but it raises some interesting ones because there's like Reggie Miller would have an hour of him just like making a lot of great postseason plays, and talking shit, and Robert Horry would have like 8 plays, but boy, they are just like Game 6 in the finals. They are bangers. So it feels like a context would kind of trump all. And there's no context in verses. That's why they work. It's like, hey, here's a song from 1984. Here's a song I made yesterday. Who wins? So in theory, it could work. They just couldn't host their own highlights. You'd have to throw it to somebody. Like they would just end up. They couldn't tell their own stories like the artists tell their own songs. Next question. Favorite pizza places, and your order at such places can be a small, local, or a chain. My favorite pizza place in the world is Puccini's. Puccini's Pizza in Lexington. I think it's in Louisville and Indianapolis or Cincinnati. I forget. It's one of those like 3 tri-county areas some way. And my order is a large double pepperoni and as many beers as they have. It's the Ron Swanson thing. Like, I know you heard me say as many beers as you have. What you think is a lot of beers. What I'm telling you is all the beers that you have. So that's pretty much my order anywhere. I either go double pepperoni or pepperoni and bacon. That's just kind of my basic go at a restaurant. That's what I judge your base off of. That's what I judge. And as many beers as you bring me. So Puccini's, chain places, who even cares, dude? Like Puccini, that's the only place Donato's, they're not my favorite, but they're just, I think the best pizza is the pizza you can't have currently. That's my favorite pizza. Because right now it's Puccini. Next question. Were you a student when your Cats upset my LSU Tigers in triple overtime with Andre Woodson? Yes. Yes, I was. Thanks for asking. I was at that game. Thanks for asking. I was a season ticket holder. Thanks for asking. It was a great year, man. Football-wise. Yeah, we were 5-1 at that point. I had to go back and make sure we were 5-1. We just beat a ranked Louisville team that had like Brian Braun. Brian Braun was supposed to be like quarterback 1. And so beat a ranked Louisville team. I was in the crowd for that. Beat LSU triple overtime on a defensive stuff. LSU didn't get it and the place went wild. Like Florida was the next week. They brought down College Game Day. And the LSU team ended up winning the championship. Like that was Matt Flynn, Glenn Dorsey, who I think that was a guy I was like, I'm certain this man is going to dominate in the pros. But it was a good LSU team. Which was a better Kentucky team. But yes, I was there. Thank you for asking. Next question, money aside, what sport and position would be the most fun to be a Hall of Fame level player? This came immediately to me. I think there's one answer and one answer only. By far, I think it's the heavyweight champion of the world. By far. Like whoever you think the best basketball player is, right? Like LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, whoever. They're not having fun. They're not. Kawhi's not having fun. Not right now, he ain't. Giannis ain't having fun. Bron's not even having fun. Mike Trout ain't having fun. Mahomes probably having some fun. But like Lamar ain't. You know what I'm saying? He got 2 playoff L's on his record. A pity. Really a shame. But, and I say that admittedly biased. I'm listening to a Mike Tyson book. I don't even know the name of it, but it's his autobiography. And he was heavyweight champion at 20 years old. And it just feels like if you put all the whatever, NBA MVP, the Wimbledon champion, the fastest man in the world, whoever, the heavyweight champ gets top billing. They got the belt. They got I can literally whoop anybody in here's ass. Like prime Tyson before him, prime Ali. that feels like the easy move over even like a Jordan or Jim Brown or Wilt Chamberlain. I'm trying to think of like older guys who are just revered like that. So it's easily heavyweight champion of the world to me. I'd never take the belt off. So that's easily my answer. Next question from Dan Bruns, excuse me. Opinion on NFL Red Zone. Is that the only thing you watch, or you old fashioned and still watch one single team or two at a time in full, or games at a time or in full? Red Zone's great. It just like it cuts to the scoring action of a lot of games I don't care about. Like in theory, it's great. It's every single touchdown, every single week, but it's like the Jaguars are driving against the Colts, and I don't care. I do not care. I'd rather watch Patrick Mahomes do anything than watch the Colts like throw for a touchdown. So I'm usually one game at a time, like whatever the primetime game is, wherever Patrick Mahomes is playing, and it's usually on in the background or like on the laptop if I'm playing PlayStation on the television. But it helps. Again, like last year when I was covering NFL Sundays for work, Red Zone's a godsend. This year, not so much, because I don't play fantasy football. I don't have a team to look for, so bothers me none. And this kind of runs into another question. It says, how do you feel fantasy football has positively and or negatively impacted how we watch football every week? I feel like it just turns, like we're turning everything into numbers and not sports. Like baseball became numbers. Football becoming numbers. NBA became numbers. And this is just like another variation of that. Like I've seen people you can't enjoy like your own team winning because your fantasy team. You can't even enjoy the good game that's going on. Like somebody's got a great 7-play, 72-yard drive, and you're like, oh my God, I am begging you to throw it to Kenny Galladay. Like you're looking at that, not the series, not the game. Like I've seen like they're like, oh, do I root for my real team or my fantasy team? It's like, how is that even a question? Like that, it was just never a question. Even when I did play fantasy, I'm always rooting for my real team over my fantasy team. So I don't know. It just feels like it turned into more numbers, right? Like a guy cannot be good, but he gets a lot of goal line carries, and it's like, well, he's just as valuable as Barry Sanders in 1993, and I'm like, I will kill you if you say anything like that again. Like even the Julio stuff started. It was just like fantasy wise. I was like, this guy. I think that's how I had him. I think that's how any football analysis comes from having somebody fantasy football. I think that's what I don't know. Either way, it's like this guy. He don't score touchdowns. He's really good. He still get point. Like he's still an elite fantasy football player, or was at least, because the yards and the catches that he gets. But now it's kind of went the other way. Like I'm rooting for him now because every time he don't score a touchdown, my mentions heat up. And now it's like, all right. I'd much rather laugh at Michael Thomas now or something. And also, Julio's like halfway there to a lot of Rice's numbers. I need it if I have to root against him to stay healthy so we can get Rice's out of the record books. Then it is what it is. I'll bury that hatchet gladly if Julio's willing to. Gladly willing to for the greater good. Next questions. JHam77 said, it's not so much a question, but I would hate to purchase a shirt that said I am having fun. I hated even more to purchase a matching shirt that said I am not having fun. And somebody else asked, do you have any plans dropping merchandise for the Farm Report? I'm thinking about it. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. I may do a poll. I figured out how to do polls on here. So there's that. But we'll see. It feels, I don't know, it feels like if you're listening to this, you're paying for something. And it's like you gotta pay again. But I don't know. I may just put the option out there. If you want to buy it, you're more than willing to. There's a way to do it through Patreon. So that's the easiest way. Maybe I will. So if you'd like to see merch, maybe I'll set up something in the Discord or a post people can comment on. Just let me know what you'd like to see. I have a couple ideas in mind. Just shirts, hoodies, whatever. Nothing too crazy. Mugs. People like mugs. But yeah, let me know what you think. Or you can comment it on this post. Just let me know what type of merch you would like to see, if you'd like to see merch. Next question. Is President Taft dying in the bathtub more ideal than dying on the shitter like Elvis? Is this in terms of like household activities or household places where you could die? Because I will say I can't think of many more places I'd rather die in the house than in bed. Actually, ever than in bed. Love to die in bed. Love to go out while I'm sleeping. So that's number one. Number two, tub's a good place to go out. Like, tub's a great place to unwind. I could see him just taking a bath, enjoying it so much, just relaxing so much that you died. Just so much that you just expire. So I don't know if Taft went like drowning or kicking and screaming, but it sounds pleasant. So it's got much more pleasant. I don't want to go on the shitter. That's bad news. Random thought alert though. I saw this when I looked up Taft. Taft was the last president with facial hair. Did you know that? That was 1913. That was over 100 years ago. How many men in your life, friends, boyfriends, roommates, cousins, father, uncle, grandfather, whatever, how many men do you know that have no facial hair? Zero facial hair. Think of them. Think of them right now. How many do you know? And how many of them do you trust? I rest my case. Next question. Connor Lane. What podcasts and shows do you like to listen to or watch during these trying times? Connor, I got to tell you, I've just on books, man. Audio books. Again, I'm listening to the Tyson book now. I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts. I listen to like some Zach Lowe, some Windhorse, like just depending on what the topic. Like again, after the Clippers just lost, yeah, I listen to them. Evening Jones, Bomani shit. I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts. If I'm listening to something, it's probably going to be an audio book. And if I'm watching something, right now it's The Wire. I'm still on The Wire. I'm on season 5, just finished 4. I watch one show at a time, and I don't watch them very fast at all. So I'm still on The Wire. So I'm sorry, Connor. I can't really help there on things to watch during these trying times. AW says, what are the chances the Lakers don't win the finals? I can't see them not winning at all, he says. A lot of negatives, AW. A lot of negatives indeed. Yeah, they should comfortably win. They are the finals favorite. They're the finals favorite. Like, they're either going to see the team that was 5th in wins overall or 11th in wins, because the other 3 around them have went home. Lakers are up there, Bucks are up there, Clippers are up there, Raptors. They've gone home. So, like, they're about to play Denver now. Denver is 6 in regular season wins, but they're coming off 2 7-game series. I know there's a question about, like, does it hurt them? Do you want to keep playing? Like, Nuggets are playing game 7s and winning. How much rest do you want them to have? I think this is where it catches up, because I went back and looked. Since August 24th was the day that the Lakers played Game 4 against Portland. Since August 24th to today, September 18th, the Lakers have played 6 games. 6 games in 25 days. Like one every 4 games. Not even twice a week. So that's where it's like I think they're going to be so crisp defensively. I think they're going to be so like in the games 3, 4, 5, 6 of this series. That's where it's going to add up. Where the Nuggets team is just tired, and this Lakers team has played 6 games in 25 days. Like they have the 2 best players. They've shown they can win small. Like Javal, because I write it down, and I don't read. I just read phonetically. Javal and Dwight Howard played 47 minutes in round 2. So I write things down. I try to write the specifics down, and when I write them down, I can't read them because I can't read. But Javal and Dwight played 47 minutes in round 2, like combined. Now they're gonna need some size for Jokic. Those guys are gonna be fresh, right? They don't need rhythm like shooters. They're just big for Jokic, which you need. So they gotta be like, how are they not the favorite? You know what I mean? They got 80. 80 has consistently played well against Jokic. Like he's having a great playoff run. But whether he's been on the Pelicans or Lakers, he has played well against Jokic. And he makes it tough on Jokic on the other end. So I will say 80 hasn't seen this level of Jokic, like the kind of ball he's playing right now. I don't know if Jokic's seen this level of 80 either. And 80 has had good games against like Bam or Tice too. Like it's a thing where they should have, again, the 2 best players and able to exploit a good number of matchups. So they've got to be the favorites over anybody left. I do remember saying in either, I can't remember which season preview it was, this year or the year before. It's like I think Bron can get 1 in LA, but I think I said it's got to be year 2 or 3. Like 1 was a wash. They didn't. That's when they had like Josh Hart and Lonzo, the whole Pelicans team. Now, like it so rarely breaks right for you that, you know what I'm saying, the 4 the top 5 teams and wins are just not here by the Final 4 anymore. By the Final 4, not even the finals. Like people getting out of there early. Cavs would have loved if the Warriors just stubbed their toe 1 year, right? Like, can y'all just miss it 1 year? Y'all got to make 5 straight finals. So, credit to them. Credit to, like, Vogel. He was willing to go small, and it worked. Like, LeBron plays one way. You adjust around him. Right? Spoelstra did it. Tyronn Lue did it. So far, Tyronn Lue did it. He plays one way. You just make your adjustments around him. Okay, we need smaller people around him to do his thing. We need bigger people, like whatever. And again, I don't want to say that it feels like so obvious, but Bud showed like nothing is obvious in the playoffs. Vogel needed to go small against the Rockets. They had the personnel to do so. It made sense. They did it. It worked tremendously. Again, it felt obvious, but Doc Rivers, we see the obvious ain't always obvious. So, yeah, I think the Lakers have to be the favorite. Right now, I would say it'd be Lakers over Heat in 6. Some poetic justice for LeBron. Pat Riley gets to call him some dirty words one more time. Next question is prospects on the Bulls' future. Arturas didn't build the team all by himself in Denver, but he was a big part. Thoughts on coaching and trading for signing a star in free agency? Glad you asked this. Check out, again, if you're listening to this, you have access to it. My rebuilds, I'm going in order of the draft lottery. Just finished 6 was the Hawks, so 7th. Pistons are next. I did the Bulls, and the 3 things I've said that I think they need. A coach. I would get one of Mike D'Antoni, Nate McMillan, Kenny Atkinson. One of those 3 guys. Like, get a guy on your trajectory. Like, D'Antoni was just coaching, like, trying to win a championship. Nate McMillan and Atkinson coaching playoff teams, but, like, they were cast out for guys with championship goals. I don't know if either one of those guys wants to go to rebuilding. And the Bulls are not quite rebuilding. Like they're in the latter part of a rebuild, I guess you should say. Like they haven't paid anybody but Levine. But I would get one of those three guys. I'd get a table setter. I would trade for Chris Paul. Try to get Lonzo, Monty Morris, draft Tyrese Halliburton, sign Fred Van Vliet. Whatever you have to do, get a table setter. And third thing, I choose a big. I just don't know if you're going to be able to make Wendell Carter Jr. and Lauri Markkanen work, even though in theory it should. It just hasn't worked out on the floor. Right? Like I wrote it together. One of them is I think the defense is really good, but the offense is so bad that it's like Miles Turner, Sabonis. Things have to be just right for y'all to get swept out of the first round. So I would pick one, and I would pick Wendell Carter Jr. personally. So, yeah, check that out. I feel like I detailed it more in the writing, going through the draft lottery, going to hit every team. Next question. El Broad says, where do you rank Bam's blocks in terms of all-time plays in the playoffs? It won't stop haunting me in my sleep as a Celtics fan. It's up there. It's up there, El Broad. It's real up there. It's really up there. Because, like, in terms of difficulty, like a lot of the playoff great blocks we see are like Tayshaun on Reggie Miller, LeBron, like the chase down blocks, which are great. But we see chase down blocks on the actual block itself, the actual play, not even the stakes. I legit think there's a 98% chance that Jason Tatum dunks that on like anybody that ever plays basketball. 98% chance that when he jumps, when he leaves his feet, he's like, I can dunk this. And 98% of the times, against everybody who's ever played NBA basketball, he would come down successful. And Bam Adebayo was like, I think I can block that. So it's hard not to include the stakes here. Like Eastern Conference Finals is big time, but it was game one. There's no, like, the bronze block was, of course, like the highest stakes. But on the other hand, the ball was inside the rim. That was as close to being a dunk as can be. And again, Bam Adebayo just said no. Like Ginobili on Harden was a notable one that was not a chase down. He just caught him from behind. And Harden caught somebody like that. Who'd they beat in the first round? Was it Dort? Harden caught somebody like that? So those happened. But Bam's where the ball was like Tatum dunked the ball and Bam basically caught it under the net like Earl Manigault was like, nah, actually. And it was game 7 play. Now they're 2 games away from the final. So if they end up, we'll see what they do later on this series. If they make the finals, make some hay in the finals, it could rise. Because like Kawhi's shot last year, that only got them to the conference finals. If the Raptors lost the conference finals after Kawhi's game 7 shot, still a great shot. Doesn't take away from that. But the fact that they won the championship makes it's like, oh wow. It's even that much greater because it ultimately meant something. Like if Bam made that block and the Tatum and the Celtics came back and won the next 4 straight, it's like, well, all right. Like LeBron hit that game winner at the buzzer over Orlando in the conference finals a while back. Nobody cares because they got rolled the other games. So we'll see. We'll see how much significant, but the play itself, the skill level of the play itself, got to be up there. Next question. JTR says, what are some things currently going on in sports or over the past couple years you'd like to see as a last dance 30 for 30 type in the future? And really, honestly, JTR, it's nothing, man. Like Last Dance worked because of the time gap. It had been 20 plus years since like this team played, since a lot of these guys had played. It had access that we didn't have to Jordan himself. Not even just like the highlights or like we knew those. We knew the dominance. We knew the highlights. But Jordan on the team bus, Jordan shooting around before practice, like that's what we don't have. Like the Warriors who could it even be? Like, they were a dynasty, but they're too recent. And I don't want to watch anything about the Warriors. I'm good. Like, I don't want to watch one about the Spurs 5 rings. You can't do like a good Lakers one. You never get a decent one. There've been a million Lakers Celtics one. Now that Kobe's gone, you'll never get a good Lakers one. And again, 10 parts, hour a pop. I'm good. I'm good. Like, I'm not watching that on the Patriots or nobody else. Last Dance was the perfect storm. And the pandemic. Right? Like, I would have watched Last Dance regardless, but I know a lot of people watch it because it was on. Like, Sunday nights, it was something for everybody to do. With nobody going nowhere. So, as of now, where ain't nobody going nowhere, I just really can't think of anything where I'd want to watch 10 parts. OJ's was a stretch, and it was 5 parts, but it was because they talked about so much more than OJ. Just like The Last Dance talked about more than only the 97, 98 Bulls. So I really can't think of anything I want something that in-depth on. Next question from the Tom Penny. Does this Clippers loss affect your view of Lowry as a second banana? A lot of Clippers talk. I tried to group them toward the beginning. I must have missed this one. No, I would say no, Tom, because I didn't really think of like Lowry as a second banana last year. Like, I thought that was Siakam. And so Kyle Lowry as a second banana, we've seen that before. We saw it with DeRozan. It doesn't work. Right? It doesn't work. Or either with DeRozan or Siakam. It doesn't work. He's not a number 2. So it doesn't affect my view of him, honestly. We already knew that. If he's your number 3, you can win a championship. If he's your number 2, you can make the conference finals. Did it with DeRozan. Did it with Siakam. And I think you could argue this year he was 3. With what Fred VanVleet did in the playoffs. So, no, it honestly doesn't change my view of him as a second banana. Next question. The Real Mocha 2 says, what is the most embarrassing story you're willing to share with us? The most embarrassing story that I'm willing to share with you, The Real Mocha 2, is from a time when I was in high school. It was either my 11th or 12th grade year. And I was talking to a young lady that I worked with. Courting, I think is what it was called in my day, 1700. And so, like, we worked together. She didn't live far from where we worked. So I would go to her house, but not even, like, on some sly shit. Like, her entire entire family was just cool. I would like sit there with her family and like watch TV. Like, they just wasn't really tripping. So it was a cool vibe. So I don't even remember what we argued or fell out about. Whatever. We argued. We fall out. I don't know who the fuck I think I am. I've been watching too many Avant music videos. I think I'm Carl Thomas or somebody. I caught myself trying to like drive by her house. Again, just see if her car was there. Like, it wasn't even like I'm trying to see if somebody else's, like, our man's car was there. I just want to see if her car was there. I'm driving by or go to drive by. Her entire family is outside. Like, the entire family is outside for whatever reason. But it's like, oh, man. Like, I didn't anticipate this. I'm, like, coming over it wasn't like the coming around the mountain when she comes turn. But it was like a little bit of a hill. So when you come over the hill, I can immediately see their house. I can immediately see the people on their lawn. I can immediately see that they were those people on their lawn. There was nowhere for me to, like, immediately bust, like, a U-turn. Right. So my move, so like a 17-year-old or whatever thinks, is like, I'm just going to play it cool. Right. Like, if I just drive by, just hang the first left, nobody will think anything of it. So as I'm driving, her and I like link eyes. She sees me and she's giving me the what the fuck are you doing here? Look, but like not saying anything, like with her eyes, because she's with her family. She can't say anything with her mouth. And I'm almost to like the turn. If I make this turn, I can either like bust like a U-turn, but it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? I just turn around, go through the neighborhood, take the long way out. Her little brother, it was, I don't know, 3 or 4. Well, again, I know because I'd been to their house before. It's like, that's Tyler's car. It was my car because it was me. It blew my cover. So as I'm like turning around, it turns into, oh, that is Tyler. Tell him to come, like, sit down for a while. Tell him, yeah, no. And they're like waving me over. And again, the whole time between me and her, it's not good at the time. I should not have been there. And it ends up like we're all just in there, just like watching TV. And she is so, rightfully so, pissed at me. And I'm just like, this is awesome. So, how's it going, man? I'm like, it's going great. What are you 2 kids up to this evening? Nothing. Literally nothing. So, yeah, learn from me, fellas. Don't drive by her house. Don't be creepy. Don't be stalking. Whatever that is, don't be that. Because, listen, best case scenario would have been like, why are you stalking my house? Worst case scenario, her brother was like, that's Tyler's car. And we had to sit there and watch fucking like Fresh Prince or something on the couch. A nice family show. So that was pretty bad. That was the most embarrassing one I'm willing to share. Next question is, after the Maya Moore news, we need that interview with her even more now than ever. And the news being that the man that she stopped her career to help get him justice, they recently announced they were married. I don't know when they were actually married. And my immediate thought was, this is going to be used against her, isn't it? And I feel like I've somewhat seen it, not too much. So I've been pleasantly surprised there. I feel like it will kind of be held against her. I don't think it should be. Right? It doesn't diminish her work at all. It doesn't diminish her stepping out of her role in the prime of her career, like an already short career where she's not making all that much money, relatively speaking, for how great she is historically. So it doesn't diminish that. It don't take away from that. But I do think there is something to, like, there was a power imbalance in that relationship. Right? It feels like there's something to that when one of you's in prison, one of you is outside with that kind of vested interest. Especially when it comes to find out they met each other. She was 18, he was 29, and 27, and already incarcerated. So this feels like it started as kind of a power imbalance. So again, that part feels a little off, but I do think they're in love, right? Like, I don't think it's phony or a made up story. I do think she meant it. I do think that it sounds like justice was served. However you feel about them getting married, it was enough proof to have that man released. So, and yes, Maya Moore is always welcome here on the Fun Report for an interview. She knows the door is open. Next question. Have you ever been to a hockey game? If so, did you enjoy it? And will we see Trilly become more of a hockey fan? I have. I've been to multiple hockey games. I went to a few in college, and they were fun. Live hockey is a lot of fun. Like, it's always cold in there. People got their long sleeves, their jackets, you're a little bundled up, but you're drunk. Right? So the energy's good. You're drunk. People are yelling and moving to keep warm. So it's a good energy. So I enjoy live hockey. I can't watch it much on TV, but I do enjoy it live. Will I become a fan? Probably not. Probably not. I root for close personal friend PK Subban, but in terms of individual teams, or will I just become more of a hockey fan or watch more casual hockey? Probably not. Next question. We're almost done here, I say, before we blow past the 3-hour mark. I assume you're getting the All-NBA, but more specifically, Do you think they will switch to positionless in the future? And if so, how many years do you think it'll take? I do. I do think they'll switch. I think the NBA is usually pretty good, pretty proactive on stuff like this. So I think I could see within the next 2 years, next 2-3 years, I could see this being changed. And ideally, we see it for next year, because what's going to happen if everybody stays unhealthy, or if everybody stays healthy, people are so unhealthy right now that it didn't make this All NBA as tough as it could be. Like if Katie and Steph and Clay and Kyrie, all these guys are healthy next year, somebody really good is going to end up like off the All NBA teams because Rudy Gobert had to be the second team center. So it should just be positionless. I agree. But for this year, the actual picks, like I did my picks before. I wrote those, I posted those. I won't read all those. I didn't really have any problem with the picks. I really didn't. Like my picks weren't 100% on with the actual picks. But the biggest gripe, or the biggest thing I saw people griping about, I should say, was that Bradley Beal didn't make it. And so my question was, over who? Like, over who should Bradley Beal make it? Because, again, I agree, it should be positionless. And if it's positionless, I'd have him in there over Rudy Gobert. Like, I don't have any problem with that. But realistically, as is, what guards did they get it wrong with? Because the guards they had, first team were Luka and James Harden. Second team were Dame and Westbrook. Second team was Dame and Chris Paul. Yes, Dame and Chris Paul. Third team was Ben Simmons and Westbrook. So, yeah, the gripe I saw, people were saying Bill should have made it. I said over who? And the answers that I got were Simmons, Westbrook, Siakam. Siakam not a guard, but people thought, and again, that's recency bias. Don't you dare think for a second that Bradley Beal, scoring 30 for a terrible team, had a better year than Pascal Siakam being the number one option for the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. So Siakam, no, that's decline. Ben Simmons, I don't even really think that one's close. Like, the gap in defense is so big. It's so big between Ben Simmons and Bradley Beal. And the gap in offense it's big, because Beal's 30 points a night, can shoot, facilitate, all that. But Simmons is like 16, 17 a night. He shoots 60% from the field. Great rebounder. Amazing passer. Like, he's not a zero on offense. Bradley Beal is a zero on defense. And Westbrook was the third one. I had Westbrook. I don't think that Bradley Beal had a better season than Westbrook. And it led to my question was, if Beal got snubbed, if you think Bradley Beal got snubbed, you have to feel that Trae Young got snubbed. Because statistically, Trae was the better shooter this year. He shot more threes. He got to the line more. He had a higher assist percentage. He had a higher assist to turnover ratio, and had a higher PER than Bradley Beal. So of those two, Bradley Beal shot better from 2, and that's it. The defensive numbers, those guys were about exactly the same. So for as bad as Trae is defensively, and he is bad, I'm not trying to say the numbers are lying, but Beal's right there. He's that bad too. So if you think one was snubbed, then surely do you think the guy with the better numbers and similar defense was also snubbed? But I didn't see as much as that. Like, between Trae, Beal, and Russell Westbrook, again, Trae's the best shooter of the three, shoots the most threes, gets to the line, highest assist, best assist to turnover. Like, that goes for all three of those guys. Bradley Beal, he's the best shooter from 2-point range of all three. Westbrook's the best rebounder. He's easily the best defender, which not saying a whole lot, but that's how bad those other guys are. And he was the only one in a secondary role, which is fair to point out, but he also dominated that secondary role. Trae and Beal played for terrible teams. didn't quite ace the primary role. So I have no problem Bill not making the All-Star game, not making the All-NBA. Again, if he got snubbed, I need to know who. And for this year, Ben Simmons was a better player than Bradley Beal. I think Russell Westbrook was a better player than Bradley Beal. So those are my All-NBA. Again, I didn't see any major snubs. A couple things I would have had switched around, but they were fine to me. Next question. In your opinion, what sports city fan base has the worst luck? Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo, or Atlanta? Of these, from worst to first in terms of terribleness, Atlanta's 4. I think Atlanta's 4. Because even while it's up there, like they have a ring from the Braves, it's not even celebrated. Like, it's not even celebrated. Actually, no, you take that. I take that back. Atlanta's 4. Or Atlanta's 3. Detroit's 4. I was thinking it was 5, excuse me. Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo, Atlanta. Atlanta is 3rd of 4. Detroit is 4th of 4. Detroit's only disqualified because the Pistons and the Red Wings have both won multiple titles in my lifetime. The Tigers have made multiple World Series in my lifetime, but they haven't won them, and the Lions are horribly inept. So they're bad. But if half of the Big Four has multiple championships, come on, man. Atlanta would kill for that. Atlanta got the 28-3 Falcons. That's their tale to triumph. The Hawks made a conference finals with the 1 seed and 60 wins a couple years ago, and absolutely nobody believed, and got swept, which everyone believed would happen. United are champs, though. That's why we can't. We 3rd. We can't be in the cellar. We can't be in the cellar. United champs. Braves won 15 straight divisions, but they got one. Like, if they didn't have that one, it gets real ugly. But they got that one. The Thrashers, they moved because a star player got drunk and accidentally killed his teammate in a drunk driving crash. They moved the team to Hartford, I think. So, Detroit's 4, Atlanta's 3, Cleveland's 2. Like the Cavs, they broke the curse. That one's done. The Indians, they're always in the mix. Like, they're in the playoffs a lot. I feel like they win the division. They're in the mix a lot. They've been to the World Series, I think, twice in my lifetime. They just don't have rings. And I think if they change to the Spiders, if they go to Spiders, go away from Chief Wahoo, change it all up, I think they're knocking on the door. So they're 2. The Browns beat the Bengals tonight, so some say their curse has been broken. But number 1, it's Buffalo. Number 1, it's the worst sports town, sports luck, whatever, is Buffalo. Like the Buffalo Braves left and became the Clippers. That one ain't too bad. You cope with that. That ain't too bad. But the Sabres have been there for a while. I looked it up. They have no titles. They have not made the playoffs since 2010. They stink. The Bills, they don't have a baseball team. I don't even know who the Mets. Are they Yankees, Mets? Blue Jays? I really don't know. But the Bills, they're good now. But 4 straight Super Bowls, man. Buffalo's the most tortured sports fan base. Whatever the question was. The worst. They lost 4 straight Super Bowls. And the first one, 1990, the AFC title game, they beat the Raiders 51-3. Like, they're going into the Super Bowl on cloud 12 and get there, and that's the Scott Norwood one. So you're like, okay, that's the first one. That's tough. It stinks. That's tough. We're tough. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. You think it can't get any worse? And they lost it 3 more times by a combined 65 points. They got to win 4 in a row. Like Cleveland, the Cavs broke the curse. They won 1. Curse was broken. The Bills got to win, I think, at least 2 to break the curse. 4 straight, you got to win at least 2. So Buffalo's got it the worst as a sports fan base. God bless them. And the last question for tonight is from Jay Fauci. Said, is it ethical to sleep with an elderly woman for my PS5? Because the bar I work at has seen a serious increase of single old women. Fauci, that's a tough one, my friend. Let me say this. It would be unethical if you didn't let these single older women treat you like the king that you are. Like, let it be said. Let it be a scream from the mountaintops. I'm willing to do something strange for a PlayStation 5. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, if somebody giving you the eyes, Fauci, respectfully, maybe she's like, hey, big boy, let me buy you that PS5. You say standard or digital. And then you gauge your response. You need to see if you're dealing with like a broke bitch or not. But I say go for it, my friend. I say go for it. Do what it takes to get that PS5. I know I will. I'm about to be standing out on the corner, holding my PS4 controller. Will respect for PS5, man. So, by any means, brother, get it in. And if business is real good, you need to send me the address of that bar. Oh yes, Trilly barback, Trilly bartender, Trilly sous chef. Cause I'm trying to get to the PS5, man. Y'all standard or digital feels so weird. Like I feel like the old in me wants standard. It's like just in case. The new one in me is like, well, digital. All the games mess up. They all just randomly reset. But then old me is like, well, I'm not gonna start buying old games to fix that. I'm not gonna fix my problem with a very easy solution. That's chaos. So I'll probably go digital. I hope. Like, I didn't pre-order. I tried. They was locked out. Twitch need to see what they can do, man. They just need to see what they can do for the boy. But Fauci, I'm hoping to hear some good news. I'm just waiting to see in the Discord chat. It just be a picture of Fauci just grinning like shit, holding two PlayStation 5. And I'll know that that brother was starving. And that man did what he had to do to get fed. And I can respect that. So that will do it for this week's Fun Report. This is week 7, or volume 7, I think, in the books. I hope that you and yours are doing well. The days, the months, the weeks, all that are coasting by. It is the middle of September already. As always, I'd like to thank you for the support. If you're listening to this, if you're subscribing to this, I'm thankful for you. Hope that you are taking care of yourself. Hope that, again, you can do one thing this week that positively impacts someone other than yourself. And we will catch you next week.